A whole new era of FIA Formula 3 is about to kick into gear at Albert Park, Melbourne. It's the opening round of the 2025 campaign, and after qualifying yesterday, we're all set. What are we going to see on the first 20-lap race of the new season? It was all go in qualifying yesterday as well. Pole position has changed hand. Rafa Camara has it. He starts 12th on the grid. Santiago Ramos will line up on pole position for today's sprint race. Welcome down under. A whole new era with a new Formula 3 car is about to launch into the record books. What are we going to have across a 40-minute sprint race here in Albert Park, Melbourne? Alongside me in the commentary box is Omi, Nathan Richards, hopefully joining us shortly as well. Omi, here we go then. The first race of a new season and a brand new car. This car's working well, but we want to bring you quickly information that you've just told me as well about Formula 2. They've already been on track this morning.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we've always been excited for new seasons of Formula 3, but this feeling hasn't been there since 2019 because we go into an unknown with a new car. We don't know how it's going to race. The reports say that it's going to be brilliant, so we cannot wait to see how that's going to go. But yes, F2's been on the circuit. Lots of power cuts, including Arvid Lindblad. Now, he's a driver who we were all saying, oh yeah, championship contender, absolutely. He found himself down the order. So for Formula 2, he finds himself starting lower down due to loads of technical faults. There was basically power cuts yesterday in practice. It was all going on for Formula 2. Let's just say so many technical issues. So they had to do a shakedown as the FIA and Formula 2 all tried to sort that out.
It has not been the start that we all wanted it to be. Let's hope Formula 2 can get it sorted. They are out after Formula 1's third practice session. Formula 3 kicks us off with racing. We're not racing down under. We've already had a couple of supercars races. They have been absolutely fantastic, but wheel to wheel on what is a green circuit. Let's, for the first time this year then, take a look to the starting grid. And for that as well, we're going to hand over to Omi to give us all the latest news, views and opinions on the grid. Omi.
Absolutely. Let's take a look then at the grid for the opening round of the season. From back to front, Alpine Academy driver Nicola Lacorte is next to Bruno Del Pino in 29th. And then we have Brando Starling in 28th. Marin Angeli is in 27th for AIX Racing as he returns back to single-seaters. Ivan Dominguez is in 26th. And then we have Gerard Z in 25th position for the high-tech TGR team. Tuka Tappinen, the Ferrari Academy member, in 24th, next to Mari Boyer, who is now going to be racing once again with Campos. Christian Ho, the first Singaporean driver to start a Formula 3 race, he's in 22nd, next to James Wharton on home soil. Javier Segura is in 20th for AIX, and then it's Noah Leon for Prema as he moves teams to the Italian outfit for this season. Callum Woysen is in 18th. Lawrence Van Hoopen is in 17th position for this race as he continues with ART. Nicolas Solov, the Red Bull Academy member, in 16th. Louis Sharp coming fresh off Race of Champions, he's alongside. And then it's Williams Jr. Giusti in 14th, next to Joshua Dufek, who's moved over to the high-tech TGR team. An all-Trident row, these two will share the front row tomorrow, but they're 12th for today as the top 12 gets reversed down. He's next to Stromstead. Tefia Nars in 10th, and then it's Nikita Bedrin, only set to be doing one race, but he's the lead AIX driver. Tim Tramanitz is in 8th. Charlie Wurz is in 7th position, and he'll be the lead Trident for today's race. Tasana Politz-Privazak in 6th. Ugo Gachikwu in P5. The McLaren Junior will be looking to move forward in his first race, and then it's Stenshorn in 4th. Roman Bidlinski, who had injuries last year, it's been a brilliant comeback from him. He'll go from 3rd. Zagazeta is in 2nd. For the new Dams team, who are on the front row, and then it's Santiago Ramos, who will be lining up on pole position as we get all set and ready. And it's great to see the fans as well, all in nice and early for the action.
Beautiful conditions as well. Track temperature is at 44.7. Air temperature is at 28.5. This could be the only dry day of running we get as they head off on their formation lap. Tomorrow, the latest forecast is early in the morning for very heavy amounts of rain. That could affect F3 and F2, and then light sprinklings as the race gets underway for Formula One's main event of Grand Prix action. Slow starts as well, as they have never done a standing start with these new cars, Omi, but they shouldn't be too much of a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember I was utterly scared last year when F2 was about to get into action for the first time with their new car. You just don't know what's going to happen. Once again, same thing. Zagazeta very nearly stalled it off the grid, by the way. He's the driver who starts in second. But yeah, new Dams team, so they don't have much data in Formula 3. They've been in Formula 2 for a while, but not much data when it comes to the third tier. Let's see whether they can win in their first ever race in this championship.
Let's take a listen then as to what our top three on the grid have to say about Formula 3 in 2025 and how they are going to shape up with this brand new car and a brand new atmosphere they have got to contend with as well. It is all change, and let's start with Roman Blinsky.
You know, it's one of those things you have to take it how it comes. I'll for sure do the best job I can do and just adapt to the situation. You know, it's a race. I want to win a race, but have to be smart and have to think about some moves, and we'll see.
P2.
Saturday, I think the plan is to go for the win. We really want to win that race. For debut for the team as well would be really nice. So yeah, we're going to push for that, but still we want to keep working forward. So for qualifying next time should be a bit better.
P1.
For sure we're excited, you know, starting the first race of the year in P1. It's something that I'm really looking forward to, and hopefully it's not only to start at P1, also to finish it. So yeah, obviously now working with the team, analyzing data and everything for the degradation, because obviously we're expecting a bit of deck for tomorrow's race. But yeah, quite happy with it.
Sorry, I thought we were going to have some radio there. It sounded like the radio beep was coming at the end. Just coming now down towards turn 11. I mean, how critical is it going to be to get these new cars off the line? Because, of course, for the first time, we've got bigger wheels this year on the front and the rear tyre, so there's more traction on the ground. Ergo, more slipstream and more spinning down to the first corner.
Yeah, absolutely. And you very nearly had Santiago Ramos already trying to sprint clear on this formation lap, but Zagazeta and all of the drivers behind have to stick with him. Great to see Terrafiel doing very, very well yesterday, but really critical, as you mentioned, to get off the line. You've got lots of new drivers in this field. You've got a new car. It only really leads to one road, and that's going to be chaos. But these drivers have been doing very, very well so far. And to give another point on the Dams team, as well, if they are able to get a podium today, then it would be their first at this level since 2016 in the third tier, when Dan Ticktum got it in Yaz Marina.
20 laps ahead of us, a total of 105.560 kilometers, 40 minutes plus 1 lap. That's the feature that we're going to have to start with here today. Onboard cameras as well have Badderwood, Stromstead, Van Hopen have it, Murray Boyer, Steinshaw as well has it, De Pino, TFL now has it, Vozin, Javier Seguer, as you say. We interviewed him, and Lucas Lacorte has the onboard cameras. Let's see how well I do with names as we go along. Not too bad there, I'm getting a hang of them.
Getting there, you can immediately see Zagazetta's pointing his car straight towards Santiago Ramos, who's an experienced driver. He has been here before. No one's been here with this car around this arena, though, at this moment to start the season at Albert Park. This is going to be exciting. A new season, a new era JB's about to begin.
Quite weirdly here, pole position is on the racing line, so it's on the right-hand side of the TV pictures, left-hand side of the track, which means P2 has inside line down to turn 1. Usually it's the other way around. Here we go then, green flag at the back. A whole new era of FIA Formula 3 is about to begin. Rebecca Lee will press the buttons as we count down to a new season. Eyes to the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anticipation high. Foot to the floor, we're racing in Australia. Great start from Zagazeta. He'll draw alongside Ramos, literally bumping down towards turn number 1. Roman Blinsky trying to go around the outside as well towards the first corner. Will we all get through safely? I think so. One of the McLaren liveried cars was back. I think that was Steinshaw, who did not have the best getaway. Ramos brilliantly into the lead as we come down towards turn 3. It's 3 wide further back and diving out the inside out of absolutely nowhere. Blinsky's going to go through, sliding into the path. And contact already, and that's the 6 going slow of Charlie Vines. He's got a broken suspension, I think.
Not what Charlie Wirtz wanted at all. Zagazeta got a great start off the line. He was immediately attacking at the front of the field, but it was great from Ramos to hang on. It's still Zagazeta in second place as they try and make their way through, but not what Charlie Wirtz wanted at the back of the field. He's dropped down massively as we go through. Ramos absolutely pulling away as they're battling for second. Here comes Belinsky.
Belinsky's going to have it at the front as well, but then we got Zagazeta and Tanasipol into Pruvazak coming back up as well on the inside line. Martin Estancho's dropped back, but what on earth happened to Brandon Bedoya? He just went absolutely nowhere early on in the race. This is where the tricky bit is. The cars look slow on the TV camera, but they're flicking through here at over 150 miles an hour. Stanshaw's back up the inside, retakes third position, trying to get in number 2 of Belinsky, trying into turn 11, can't get through, and we're 3 wide, and the lockup for Belinsky's going to go wide. That allows Stanshaw back through. Oh, what a great start. Spinner, round to the back, contact, and I think that was Louis Sharp who went spinning around, and who's got the broken front wing? I can't tell from that angle.
Yeah, one of the contenders in the background with a bit of damage as well. It's getting super aggressive as into Pruvazak was trying to make a move in the campus as well as we complete the first lap. So much action, they're all over the road. As we went into the third sector, it's continuing. Ramos has a good advantage at the front, but we might need a safety car.
Yeah, and it's a virtual safety car that's been deployed as the field will now have to calm themselves down. They'll race until they see the boards going wide and off the track. Coming through as well was Teofil Nal as well. Now the racing just gets settled down. Virtual safety car on lap 2 of 20, and we can all take a breath and catch it back. Out of the race has gone Charlie Wirtz, but there was another one. Louis Sharp did get spun round, and I think that was Marion Gelly as well, who's dropped back. He's had a no front wing, yes, into the pits. That's Joshua Dufek with no front wing.
Yeah, absolutely. He was the car that was going slowly in the background, but they were absolutely all over the road. I think when we had the F2 start with the new regulations, they were somewhat calm at least, but with these guys, they immediately showed how closely the cars could follow with an absolute brawl down through turn number 9 to the end of the lap. And there were so many points where it was very nearly contact, and that eventually there was contact further back, but great stuff in the battle for second place to a point where we had Ramos able to get away so well, but off the line it was actually Matias Zagazeta who got the chop across, and he was so tight to the inside he had to get out of it. That gives Belinsky the run on the outside line as well. He's going to get forced out wide, and that's going to give the opportunity to Stenchon then, who was able to get the power down. Into Pruvazak was also in there as well, but a very, very messy start when we got to the third sector especially, but it all kicked off here with the dive bomb from Belinsky.
Yeah, and who was that going slow as well? I couldn't tell one McLaren, just literally coasting in the mid-corner. Not the best getaway.
Yeah,
Let's have a look.
absolutely. Let's take a look once again. Yeah, they were all sprayed absolutely everywhere. McLaren, 3 McLaren Juniors in total, and that's where Charlie Wirtz was slowing down. We spotted it in the background of our shots.
Broken front left suspension, he's gone in. In fact, I think he's got 2 wheels down. Right, this what happened. Spinning. Yeah, that's Louis Sharp gets spun round.
Louis Sharp.
Did Dufek hit the back of him? And just tipped him. That's what broke his wing. Yeah. Oh, what a chaotic start.
Wow.
Right, here's Stanchon.
Yeah, here's Stenchon. You can see he was absolutely pushing on. You have Inter Pruvazak there, you had Belinsky directly in front as well. This was brilliant from Inter Pruvazak first of all, outside to the inside. Then he's all out of shape when we get through turn number 10. And then this gives Stenchon the run, and this is where he can now go on the attack.
What worries me, Omi, is that all this has been done without the DRS. That was lap 1. DRS is activated lap 2 of this one. Not my championship pick. I have Wirtz winning the championship this year, says Iceman. Kenny says, here we go. And, well, virtual safety car still out with all those leaves on the side of the track. Turn 12 it's involving, yeah, I thought so. Oh, hang on, that's car 24 of Louis Sharp and the 15 of different note of causing a collision. Green flag coming back out for racing.
It is indeed. Kamara dropped down massively from 12th as well, but now this restart's going to be critical. Who can get the jump?
Go again in Australia. They've all spread out a bit too much. The battle's actually going to come from Tanasipol into Pruvazak down. He's got Tim Traminitz as well coming in. Tim Traminitz as well. Now, are we going to see the DRS activated immediately? That's what we need to see. As immediately Tanasipol into Pruvazak gets round the outside, overtaken brilliantly down as well by Tim Traminitz as well. Nikita Bedrin having a battle with Noah Stromstead. Teofil Nal is in there too as we come down. No DRS coming through. Last of the lane breakers. 3 into 1. That never goes right. Hold your breath. That's all just okay as we squeeze through. No contact. 3 cars in
round.
And that's a broken front suspension as well. Out of the race, into the gravel. 2 cars stopped immediately. That'll have to be the safety car. No ifs, no buts, and it is the safety car deployed. Out of the race goes Rafael Camara, who is on pole for tomorrow's race with a broken suspension. There's the safety car.
It was absolute chaos once again in that corner. It's getting so tight, they all clutter up. It gets very tight through turn 9. They all clutter up by the time they get down towards turn number 11. And disappointment indeed for Camara. And that also seems to be Lawrence Van Hoopen, who's just stopped a bit more further up the road as well in the ART. He'll be disappointed with that. But Camara, he already had a terrible start, dropping down all the way to 17th position, and it's gone even worse for him, but he'll now try to recover tomorrow as well when he starts on pole.
James Wharton caught up in that. He's going to be out of the race. He's managed to limp back to the pit lane with no front wing, but broken suspension. It's a bit cross-eyed, that steering. He'll come in, they'll change the wing, but it's out of the race, I'm afraid. You're not going to repair that traction rod in the time allowed. So safety car deployed. Well, this will be a bit of a lengthy delay because they need to get 2 cars out and sweep the gravel up. We saw how much it took when we were in Formula 1 and the Formula 2 yesterday with the amount of red flags we had to get. Both toe links broken. He's not well to get that back at all.
Absolutely. That will be a terrible start for ART. Double retirement. Right, we're going to be looking further back. We're looking for the move. So this is going to be Stromstead first of all making his way through, but we're looking further back, and there we go, into the side. So both ARTs going off the road, and both also collecting Camara.
Yeah, I think that's all caused by Wharton locking up. He hits Camara, and Camara hits the side of Lawrence Van Hoopen. 3 into 1 doesn't go, as I was saying, and that's just proved it.
So, yeah, absolutely. You were saying, of course, for the drivers ahead. The drivers behind didn't listen to that as well, but it applied to all of them, especially if you are at the back. And that's the disappointing thing about Formula 3 sometimes for these drivers. If you do start, even if you have the pace to dominate, you are going to get caught up in contact, you are going to get caught up in battles like that. And that's an unfortunate moment for Camara. He'll be absolutely devastated, but it's about how he bounces back tomorrow and minimizing those bad results as well throughout the season, because of course he's my pick for the title. So if he doesn't want to win that championship, then the bad days will need to be minimized, but nothing he could have done there. That's just unfortunate stuff. And ARTs are also taken out, and well, Charlie Worst. So we have 2 Tridents and 2 ARTs out.
4 retirements within the first 4 laps of this race. It's a 20-lap race. By the end of this, we'll probably only have 10 cars left. As we'll keep going. What a crazy start. Now.
This race is already chaos, mate. There's going to be a lot of opportunity.
That's basically just to keep calm, isn't it? Do not put your head up.
Yeah, don't go for dive bombs absolutely everywhere. If someone's dive bombing you, just let them go and hit the drivers up ahead, because that's what we're seeing. And yeah, the middle sector around this circuit, I think, is delivering the chaos going into the 3rd sector as well. And as we mentioned, we didn't have DRS open that time around. So the virtual safety car, they already went quite. So we were still under virtual safety car when they went through the detection point.
Yes.
Meaning that we didn't get the DRS down towards turn 9 or down towards turn 11 because it's 1 detection point. Meaning we haven't even had any DRS open yet. So this is interesting.
I've got a mosquito flying at me up here in the commentary box. Come to Australia, they say. There we go.
Yeah,
it's
full of insects, full of bugs in Australia.
So, James Wharton, I feel sorry for him. Home race, debut, and he's out already. He wanted to really impress here. Oh, that is a shame. I'm just glad they haven't.
And there's no guarantees for tomorrow if it rains as well.
Good point. Yeah. Tomorrow could be safety car.
If we think with chaos in the dry, then what's going to happen in the wet tomorrow?
Oh God, red flag galore. I'll get the backup camera ready so I can sit down. I feel that might be a necessity tomorrow across categories as well. So new light panel as we take a look on board the Dams Racing lights out start.
Yeah. So Lecorte off the line very, very well indeed. He just got past Christian Ho. He's also moving past Harry Segura right to the side of the AIX, and then he's going to try pick his braking spot right to the side now. He also found himself with Wharton. Cars absolutely everywhere on this opening lap, as it usually is as well. And then he's got Dominguez also in front. So we're just looking to see this chaotic POV that should be coming our way. That's going to be wide for Ivan Dominguez slightly in the number 22 Van Amersfoort car. Lacorte is going to get the run. That's going to be Charlie Word, who found himself off the road as Lacorte dived to the inside of Dominguez, thinking about it. But yes, this is how chaotic a Formula 3 POV is. Just trying to stay out of chaos absolutely everywhere.
Oh,
and
brave.
then also trying to make moves like that.
Oh, well done, Lacorte in turn 6. That was fantastic.
There was. You're just looking for the opportunity wherever it might be to try and catch out your rival. Gaining positions on the opening lap can be very, very vital. It does come with a huge risk as well, and I think he balanced the risk out perfectly. He had a couple of chances where he could have dive bombed, but in the end he did do it, and he was able to get by. And then he's going to see Dominguez fight back around the outside.
Gave him room through a very difficult part of the track at 9 and 10.
Well done to those two. They raced absolutely well throughout those couple of corners. And yeah, great to see both of them continuing on, and then it was all chaos in front of them.
There's one into the gravel with that. Yeah, right, that's the crunch point, isn't it? Turn 11. Well, it's basically just a 90-degree corner now, turn 11. It's changed profile to what it used to be, and it was causing problems even then. Hamilton and Webber, 2010, springs to mind.
Great move from Lacorte to get past Gerard G as well, going all the way around the outside. So a couple of good moves on that opening lap for Lacorte. We've got a whole lap as well with Nicola Lacorte, because of course we're under this safety car. So yeah, a long replay, but it's been interesting to see from his POV all of the amazing moves that he could pull off. Lap number 6, but yeah, Australia Formula 3 can sometimes be the safety car fence. I think last year's sprint race was actually quite good, and the feature race.
Yeah,
so
they were good.
They behaved themselves a bit more last year, but with this new regulations of cars, I think we knew what was going to happen. Loads of rookies. It was all going to go pretty wild, and it absolutely has.
And Louis Sharp and Joshua Dufek under investigation now for causing that collision.
Yes, Louis Sharp indeed. We can still see the recovery. As you mentioned, it was going to be a long procedure, but then we're going to look to try and get underway. Wonder how Formula 2 is going to be later on as well. That's going to be pretty chaotic as well, I'm sure of it, especially as those guys all weekend long have been struggling. And let's hope that all of of course I've not heard anything from the circuit yet in terms of did the shakedown go well, how were FIA and Formula 2 able to sort the issues out, because I mean when the drivers pay millions every year, you don't want them to be finding themselves.
What's happened? That's not the safety. That's not the safety car coming in. There's been a problem. Someone's crawling into the pits. Who's going to drop down this timing tower? Oh no!
Chaminix to follow.
Chaminix has stopped.
Chaminix.
Well, he's had to do a control reset. Something went wrong. He ground to hold on entry to pit lane, and we were just seeing. I thought, had they gone red flag because they were unsure whether to come into the pit lane or not. Oh, okay.
What's going on there?
Looks like the car cut out. He's had to do a reset. Is he going to go through pit lane, or will he form up in the temporary pit lane procedure? Let's take a look.
Yeah, right when we were talking about car cutouts and stuff as well.
Yeah, so cars 5, 7, noted for causing collisions. That's Kamar and Van Hopen. Interesting they haven't chosen Joshua. Interesting they haven't chosen James Wharton there, who caused that contact, and in my opinion should get the penalty. That's a bizarre line from the stewards there. And again, it's the FIA. Why are we bothering to ask them about it?
Yeah, we have currently as it stands 25 minutes to go on the clock. We're on lap number 7. The safety car race that we thought that we would get, absolutely we are getting indeed. But yes, continuing with what I was saying about drivers with issues in Formula 2, the drivers do pay millions every year to race in this category, and it's not really fair if they aren't getting the chance to actually be able to show their talent in what is a spec series. So hopefully that is sorted, because what I don't want is drivers like Arvid Lindblad, which I keep using his example because it was very clear. He said on his social media that he had faults as well, but it was quite a few drivers. And basically we found ourselves with Arvid Lindblad having, power cuts and all sorts, meaning he couldn't even find himself into the top 10, and he finds himself in like 14th for both races. So very unfair. You'll move a bit more up with the penalties coming in for the other drivers. But yeah, when the drivers do pay millions per year, I do think that they deserve an equal shot in a spec series.
With you on that one. Now, I'm not going to disrespect the Australian marshals here, but for what we just saw with the leaf blower lazily going along and the sweep up of the gravel going about as quick as my dear old Nan was able to do it, then I suggest we hurry up a bit and get this race back underway, because we've only got 24 minutes to go now, and we've got 12 laps to go. So come on. Oh, and Chaminix has got a problem again.
It's all going wild, and yeah, we're on a tight schedule as well with this. The Formula 3 sprint is never this close to Formula 1 practice 3,
No.
but it is of course on the Australian Grand Prix weekend with how close it is. But it's kind of nice just to have back-to-back actions, meaning you don't have nothing to do in the night as well. But yeah, really exciting. Really exciting couple of hours coming up with practice 3, then the F2, then the F1. Absolutely amazing to have all of the action as we continue to watch Chaminix, which is so disappointing. Highest returning driver this season, of course, as well, and it's not going well for him as he's back in the pit lane 1 lap later.
Got dual pit lane here in Australia for Formula 2 and Formula 3. They can dive into either pit lane during the race weekend. They must go into the correct order of the pits. But yeah, it looks like he's going to be out of the race. So what I was saying is coming true. We are now down to 25 cars, and we are only 8 laps in, and we've only had a total of about 2 laps of actual running. Divers in the lake here at Albert Park, Melbourne. Believe it or not, they are actually there. Not only in case any of the fans fall in across the pontoon area, but in case any of the cars end up in the lake, believe it or not. They are still, there are 4 sets of diving team across this Albert Park in Melbourne. And at Monaco, there are still divers, as the safety car is in this lap.
Safety car is coming in. Oh, here we go. We're already at the end of the lap. Fantastic stuff. Let's get racing again. And yeah, we were losing drivers even before the safety car came in. But let's see how many we're going to have by the end of the next lap.
Look at Stenshaw as well. By the way, you might notice we're changing the name because there's 2 pronunciations. We're not sure which it is, so we're covering our bases a bit to come into it. But Stenshaw at the back of Ramos. Ramos! Brilliant restart! Oh, that was epic! He literally did it on the exit of the corner, but he went for it on entry. I've never seen that style of restart. Look at the gap he's got already across the line. Stunning restart from Santiago Ramos. David Coulthard tried to do that in 2003 and ended up going off the track. That was a brilliant one. Side by side and wide. That's not going to work out. Nikita Bedrin under attack now. Round the outside. Calls to Tio Felnal as well. Now's going to have that inside line down to turn 3. He makes that move stick. And here comes Stromstead. Back. No, can't do it, Omi.
Absolutely, Terfield thinking about it. That was super tight to the wall as well, but Bedrin hangs on to it after being slightly wide. Further back, Noel Leon is just staying ahead of Nicholas Olive as well. A bit more of a judged restart by the field, and yeah, that was absolutely brilliant from Ramos to get on with it. And Stenshaw has some good pace, so he's going to have to be careful as they're kicking up the gravel.
That's always alarming because drivers don't know whether to go full throttle or lift off. That could have been a big one there. As look now, that was all caused. Yeah, that was caused by Noah Stromstead. Stromstead's going to be under pressure now as well as trying to swing around the outside. Cuts back in. That's dangerous going around the outside. Turn 11 and 12. But it's going to work out on the inside line. Gravel getting kicked up in the drivers' faces. 2 by 2 through turn 11 and 12. My God, these guys know no fear.
Oh, they're going absolutely wild now. There's the chance. Here we go. With Leon up against his teammate Ugo Chikru.
Costini as well, I think, was on the inside line. That's going to be outside and gets forced off. Drivers literally hanging out their cars there. And you're laughing. Have I said it wrong?
No, well, I have to take a step back due to what I'm seeing on my screen. Just thinking about it to the inside.
Just a little bit of wing damage. It's okay. It's still good. It's still good. No, Leon back to the inside line. And I think as well, that's caught out a couple of the drivers there. Costini needs to back up a little bit. 3 wide to the first corner. He's going to lose out on this one, I'm afraid. Oh, and it's happening everywhere. This is what Formula 3 should be in Australia. Good restart for these guys, but they're all slipping about everywhere.
Yes, absolutely. They're all over the road as we head down through. Solov ahead. And they're still side by side. Ugo Chikru to the inside. Lacorte is going to be wide. Yeah, GFC's going to get the chance. They're all over the road.
Lacorte nearly whacked into the side of about 7 cars there as well. He's got very loose. The 2 McLaren-sponsored cars running together now. I think one of them is Badoer as well, who's the son of Luca Badoer. As they come through, swinging hard now on the inside line. Yep, a couple of changes back again. And more gravel getting kicked up at the now infamous turn 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars in DRS line, all trying around the outside of the lake, down towards 9 and 10, and they're 3, 4 wide. I can't watch. This is going to be a nightmare as they come together.
I cannot believe what I'm watching. This is unbelievable. The question was, how could they make the racing better? The answer was, these machines. They are absolutely delivering brilliantly right now, as well as we throw it down once again through, and that is going to be Segura just ahead of Tuukka Tappinen. Tuukka Tappinen trying to attack to the inside.
Yeah, Segura knew it was coming. He went defensive, but can he have that same line to the last corner? He tries it as well. Tappinen, who I've tipped for the race win, isn't going to go very well. What's happening here at the front? Because that is Santiago Ramos defending. He's lost 2 tenths on that straight alone to Martinez Steinschultz. So what are we going to have with the DRS Open? Down towards turn number 3. Ramos can't. Well, he does go defensive. That's very late as well. Meantime, Belinsky as well having a go at Zagazeta and Tenasable into Pruvazak. The top 5 coming very close now. They're all in the hunt, and they've left the field by 3 seconds to Bedrin.
This is absolutely phenomenal. Battle for first, battle for third, and they're all together as well. You've got these little groups going on. This is phenomenal. Formula 3 racing, and we have still plenty of laps to go. This is amazing.
Gravel.
There's going to be an opportunity for Stenchon if he can get on with it.
Anyone goes wide at turn 6, they're going to go straight into an accident. There's loads of gravel there now.
There is. As here's the chance now, coming in, we're about to do battle once again, down through, and now here comes into Pruvazak, thinking about it, to try and get past Zagazeta.
On the inside, can't find it through. Zagazeta did shut the door quite nicely as well. Tenasipol was looking left and right. Now they've both got the DRS down towards turn 11. Last of the late breakers, if it's going to be an inside job. No, it's not. Ramos looking like a sitting duck up there. Just having to use the defensiveness of these new cars.
Yes, these new cars, amazing for attacking, amazing for defending by the looks of things, and amazing for great racing as well. As we're about to come around the final corner, this is now going to be a chance for Stenchon. He needs to get up with it. He needs to use the DRS. 4 DRS zones in total around this circuit. So there's plenty of opportunities to go on the attack, meaning that Ramos is going to have his mirrors full of Stenchon, who won this exact race in the exact same format. He won the sprint race last year of Formula 3 as well here at Australia. Can he do it for 2 years in a row now?
Look left, look right again, then dive round the outside. Ramos goes defensive. Steinschul trying to literally find any bit of position to jump ahead. It's like Mansell and Senna in Monaco in 1992. Albert Park delivering as we see a replay on board with Steinschul now. And this is how Ramos, I think, lost his time.
Is he going to be wide? Is he going to be wide? We see so many drivers do that, and he was wide.
Well, did he go? And he's locked up again, Omi. Look down at turn 13.
That's what closed the gap in. He was able to pull outside the 1 second originally, but this got him in. This got Stenchon with the opportunity, and when you do get inside the 1 second, you've got a big chance because of how powerful the DRS is.
Round the here they come again, the top 5, all in line as they come through. Right, there's him from Taspo.
Be clever, keep it cool. Something's going to happen at the front, keep it cool.
Yeah, a bit of a level head for Tenasipol, which sometimes he didn't have last year. This is certainly the best we've seen him perform in a long, long time. He's in this hunt for a podium. Meantime, Bedrin is having a battle further behind with Teofel Nal, Noah Stromstead and Callum Vozin. They were side by side a second ago. I'd love to get that changed. Lap 13 coming up.
Lap 13 indeed, but what a race. This is turning into the opening race of the FIA Formula 3 Championship. A new era has started off absolutely brilliantly, as well as we ride on board with McLaren Jr. He got into the academy last year, he's continued with them this year, and can he take victory here in Australia once again for the 2nd year in a row? Ramos is currently denying him that title as we go down to turn number 3, and it's all going to be about keeping it close to the next few corners, because it really seems like the opportunity will be to close in at turn number 9, and then maybe make the move at turn number 11 if you can't get through at turn 9. Turn 9's risky. You have to be brave if you want to go to the inside or to the outside.
And it all starts with a good line through the exit of turn 6. It all counts together, so get on the power nicely. Bring up that DRS. You're already now through the long sweep of 8 and 9. Now really go on the attack through the lakeside descent. Are we going to have any sort of move with the DRS? He's looked like he was a little bit too wide. What about Tenasipol into Pruvazak? No, here comes round the outside. Oh, he thought about it. Stenshall did think about it, but Ramos went defensive. But Ramos has had a poor exit. Coming out of turn 10, DRS will benefit. Martinez now. Will he go inside or outside? Ramos defends the inside. Martinez stays to the outside. Last of the lane breakers, and that's going to go wide. It's going to be the old switchback. Better traction. Ramos gets the bad exit. He's trying to block. Stenshall lifts off a little bit as we come in towards turn 13. This is not going to be the opportunity for an overtake. It'll have to be turn 1.
This is now the pressure coming to Ramos. He's got some talented drivers behind. Bielinski as well, doing so well in third. Zagazzetta for a new team in Dams racing. They're doing well in fourth. Into Pruvazak wants to also get involved as well after seeing his teammate taste the win in Budapest last year. That being Nikita Bedrin. He had to settle for second fiddle that day. He wants to be in there today. We've still got so much time for something to happen. Here's the chance for Stenshall. Can he close in once again?
He's going to be the switchback. He's going to sell in the dummy. Launch up the inside line. He can't get it right. He was too far back. I was predicting that to happen. I knew he'd be done at turn 3, but he's leaving himself vulnerable to Bielinski as well. Oh, and a time penalty. Yeah, I thought that's to Wharton. Well, that's...
yeah, absolutely. Stenshall's been very patient as well with the late move on the inside. So now he's seeing that, well, the outside of it won't always work, so he sometimes may need to sell the dummy. That was his first attempt off that. Let's see whether he can use the DRS once again to close in at turn 9 to possibly make the move. But turn number 11 is a good opportunity. We can try and set it up right.
Ramos was a little bit too far wide as well. That's going to cause him just a couple of issues. Going to lose so much more traction through 9 and 10, and now he's left himself very, very vulnerable. Everybody in the top 5 closing up. Bedrin's starting to close off as Solov gets ahead of Noah Leon as well. And now, I think Stenshall is just playing the waiting game.
Yeah, playing the waiting game indeed, but he also has to definitely keep an eye on his mirrors, because these drivers behind will start realizing that if they don't get on with it, they could find themselves losing the chance of claiming the opening race of the season. So, lots going through the head right now of Martini Stenshall, who started in 4th, now is in 2nd, and wants to improve all the way to the top step. Stenshall had this exact massive battle when it came to last year, if you remember. Lap after lap, he was in this tactical game as we're side by side once again into Pruvazak gets past.
Well, they've dropped back for the back of Bielinski by a couple of seconds. So what's happened between those two? They were right on the heel here. So that's, I believe, going to be Zagazzetta having problems. It's around the outside now. Now trying to get ahead with the old switchback on Bedrin. Hasn't worked out. Now, look at that. What's happening here at the front? This is all getting very, very stretched out all of a sudden as we on board with Tia, Phil and Nal as well.
We're going into gaps for sure.
Oh!
Oh, there Phil now on the gravel as well. Yeah, on the leaderboard we've had the gap to the leader for the entire race as well. They've not switched that at all as well. They've just left it for the leader for the entire race. Usually that's only for the first few laps. Let's see whether Stenshall will get the run. Let's see whether there'll be some other opportunities as well.
Swing it round the outside, the old switch. Oh, broken front wing on the 4. Stromstad's got a broken front wing, and he's got a puncture. Oh. Well, where did that happen on the lap?
Well, there's so many battles, there's so many different groups as well in the race, so we definitely didn't catch that. Dufay gets past Louis Sharp, but Bielinski's going to be happy about this. They've both lost they both lost the drivers behind as well. Zagazzetta, as you mentioned, I think he was the one slowing into Pruvazak, and that's why they all lost time. Remember, Dam's a new team to this championship. We mentioned it a few times, but the probably the big factor about that is they don't really know much about Formula 2. They basically don't have the data as the other teams, so possibly on the tyres, not what they wanted, and they may have burnt them a little bit too quickly, has Zagazzetta.
Look at Roman Bielinski as well, caught right back up to these two at the front. Battle is on as Ramos goes a little bit too deep into turn 3. We're in the closing stages now, and this is a replay. I think Stenshall had a little bit of a run down in turn 9 on Ramos, who was literally just looking like he's standing still.
Yeah.
Oh!
Very nearly losing the car for Ramos. Tim Travanich, by the way, he's just driving around 7 laps down, by the way. Just getting some data for tomorrow.
Oh, hang on, Ramos has kicked up the dust. Ramos has kicked up gravel. Now, would that give an advantage, or is Stenshall not going to fall under pressure from Bielinski?
Stenshall's dropped down quite a bit as well, so he's not as close And
Safety car!
Bielinski's there as well to capitalise.
Safety car out. Oh, big accident.
Oh! Segura and Delpino.
That's front left and rear right broken. Safety car immediately. And that is the end of play of racing here in Australia. No way we're going to go restarting the last 3 laps. That's a big one there. Oh, my. That's at turn 6.
Yeah.
And into the wall hard.
Big one indeed for Delpino, and we have the AIX of Sagrera as well. Those are the 2 drivers that are involved. They were immediately dropping down the order. We hope that they are both okay and can both get out of the car, but that's exactly what Stenstrom was risking. We know the risk of a safety car is high near the end. He was risking that exact thing happening. With if he left it too late, there could be a safety car and we could not get going again.
That car doesn't look like it's gone too. I can see it moving in the cockpit. Both drivers are moving inside the cockpit. Let's hope that Bruno's okay, because he's gone straight on into the Tech Pro barrier. Car hasn't gone underneath it. Looks like it's just come to a stop. And Noah Stromstead into the pit lane with that broken front wing. Actually, that's a bad decision from Trident. He hasn't got a puncture, as I thought he had, so they could have just left him out there and picked up some points. By bringing him in, he's lost track position, unless the car's completely dead.
Yeah.
That's a stupid decision.
Or unless they're basically almost certain that we're going to get one more lap or something. Which, yeah. We'll have to wait and see.
Broken toe link. Out of the race.
I did forget for Trident after they were looking like the strong team. Kamara out, Wurz out, Stromstead with front wing damage. We're still going to need to get a replay of that. That's Segura walking away, great to see, and also Bruno Delpino, as you mentioned, was moving in the cockpit as well. But it's never what you want to see. As there we go, Delpino also now getting out.
Both okay, doing the safety jump. That's great to see. I would like then to see a replay of how this happened, because I'm going to presume that Delpino's got into the back of him. No, Delpino's. Oh, hang on. Well, hang on a minute.
They've already had the accident.
Into the braking zone. Well, how's that turned out? Right, let's take a look. Oh, they've come together. Oh, yeah, it's the other way round. It's Javier who's run into the back of Delpino, and effectively it's a replay of Stroll and.
Mate, he turned into me.
Yeah.
You can.
He did. He did.
Absolutely wild stuff there on the circuit, and yeah, basically exactly what you mentioned, just like the crash that we had a couple of years ago coming in there. Wow, goodness me, this Formula 3 race, after it looked like everything was going to calm down, it's back to the safety car, and it's back to Ramos leading with Stenshorn still in second, and that's exactly what I was mentioning with Stenshorn. That's the risk that you are taking if you aren't going to find yourself making the move nice and early, is that there could be a safety car at any moment.
Yeah. Now, I'm wondering if they're going to try for a one-lap restart here, because there's not as much damage as we thought.
Yeah, so not the big impact that we thought. It definitely looked worse when we first cut to it, but a little bit more, well, of course, Bruno Delpino ended all the way at the wall, but the crash happened quite a few meters before that as well, right before the corner even happened as well. So let's hope that we are able to get going. 5 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock as well. Lap number 17, which will turn into lap number 18. But yeah, let's hope we can get one lap shootout. We just need the marshals to be very, very quick as well with this, and then hopefully we can get a one lap shootout. Would be a perfect way to end. Would be a chaotic way to end this Formula 3 race, and then if there is any crashes even on that one lap shootout, then we race to the flag. We race all the way to the flag as well, if that was to be the case. But it all depends on how quickly the marshals do it, so I do want to get some shots to see how quickly they are working on that.
It's down at turn 6, so we'll get there shortly. We're now at 4 and 5 coming up, so we will take a look. Now we're coming up towards turn 6. Around this 5.278 kilometre Albert Park circuit in Melbourne. I was able to listen to my favourite podcast yesterday. Oh, well. That feels unnecessary to have the big JCB forklift cherry picker out there, because there's an access point literally just to the left there. See, that's a bit unnecessary to me that they've put that there.
Yeah, time wasting. We want to get going for a one lap shootout. I'm sure everyone does as well. Sean will be disappointed if he doesn't get the opportunity to also fully go for it. There won't be any DRS, of course, but he'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. And last time around, Ramos nailed the restart, didn't he?
It was Latifi and Stroll. Michael has reminded me. Thank you for that. I couldn't remember which Williams pay driver it was. Let's take a look there. Oh, this is Stancho on the back. He kicked to the gravel. I've got a feeling though. Oh, he nearly ran into the wall as well. He kicked up the gravel too.
Yeah, so it wasn't Ramos as we originally thought it was. When we cut to it, we thought it was Ramos. It was actually Central. That's why he found himself like 7/10 back when we cut to it, and he very nearly lost it, didn't he?
I've got a feeling. Oh, hello, medical cars out there on the circuit. Don't usually see that in front. I've got a feeling, you know, that we're going to have a delay to third practice. You know,
we could. We definitely could, and that's the risk, of course, that we run with running such a tight schedule. Kind of like the touring car days, don't we? Where on a touring car weekend it's just all back to back to back. It's kind of like that.
Well, this is
if something
pointless.
delays it, then it all gets delayed.
Look at this. They're now pushing it onto the racing line. Who sent them out? Yes, there was gravel on the track, but it was well, that is Ivan Dominguez, who has gone straight on.
Yeah. Well, I don't see the need for that yet. Sweep it up after this race is done. I mean, you let them race the entire race basically with the gravel out there as well. So yeah, I definitely want to sweep it after this.
I think they need to remove that gravel trap. Like, just cut it back a little bit.
Every year, isn't it?
Every year since they changed the complex. This race will end behind the safety car. Well, if they left it, we could have gone racing again. That's a bad decision in my book.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely the correct decision, Ramos will believe. He'll be like, absolutely, yes, let's end it. I've had a hard couple of laps just looking in my mirrors with Stenchorn and a new uprising star, Belinsky, to this championship as well, all over the back. And Stenchorn will be like, well, I want to win this exact race 2 years in a row.
Oh, get these marshals out of the way. And now they've put gravel right over where everyone's driving. Oh, look at this. That is stupid. Absolutely stupid from the marshals and from race control. They've brushed it all. They've brushed it all onto the racing line. So now everyone who's going over it has got gravel. That is stupid. Bone dead stupid. But Doha, black and white flag for track limits.
Yeah. I know many times, of course, we do say that it needs to be cleared up, but they basically let them do the entire race. There's absolutely no point to basically push it onto the racing line, which is even worse. There was, of course, you probably would need to delay FP3 by a bit, just fully sort out the circuit, because Formula 3 has made it an absolute mess, if we're honest, as well. And I'm sure Formula 2 will do the same as well. So that will be later on, but we'll go on to the 20th and final tour of this race, which will end the way it's basically been for about the first 10-ish laps.
It's been an interesting opener. As we'll end this race behind the safety car. Now the safety car will come in at the end of lap 20, so that they can cross the line without the safety car there. That's the procedure. Oh, this is an absolute mess. The Australian marshals, yes, they've got the work cut out. Let's respect the marshals in regard that they've got a very hard job to do, but that was an idiotic thing to push it onto the racing line during an active race. Very bad marshalling there, and from race control systems.
I think considering it came out on lap 16, I feel like we could have had one lap. Had it just gone a bit more quicker. I don't think about half the things they did weren't necessary at all.
Time's up.
But yeah, at the same time, I do feel that also it's probably not the best idea to let these guys loose for one last lap, considering FP3's on, and you don't want to delay it too much, or these guys probably would destroy the circuit a little bit more with how this race has been so far.
Yeah, I think already we're going to have it away. I like what Kenny says. So I think we're going to have a delay. I think certainly a delay to practice 3. presumably the timer will still tick down as well. They won't delay the whole hour.
Yes, absolutely. It'll absolutely tick down. They've had lots of time to practice as well, and there we go with the marshals for absolutely no reason, just doing it during the race when they could have just waited for it to finish, because they're creating an even bigger mess for the teams to sort out with their tires later on as well. But this will be the last tour, and if Ramos can just keep it pointing in the right direction, he'll be able to bring it home and bring it to the checkered flag. Stenshorn will be in second, Belinsky will be in third, and the new Dams team are going to get a fifth as well, get points. And the driver only here for one weekend, Nikita Bedrin, will get points as well. So a very interesting race and a very interesting way to start off 2025.
As soon as the flag comes out and we go through it all, we'll hand over to the world feed so I can go in and press the start stream for the NASCAR Truck Series race from Vegas.
Oh.
The EcoSave 200, that's coming up shortly. So Santiago Ramos is going to hold a mighty defence, and I must say a thoroughly deserved victory as well here. That restart was spectacular on the previous safety car. Martin Steinshaw got the best start from fourth to second, and Belinsky on debut will be third. Santiago Ramos exits the last corner, races to the line, the checkered flag falls, the season opener is won by Santiago Ramos in fine style. Martinez Steinshaw is second, and Roman Belinsky will finish in third. Race one done. Only another 19 to go. Not a bad start there, Omi.
Correct. Only 19 more to go, and if they're all like this, some season in store. And yet, brilliantly deserved for Ramos. The restart, I think, really earned him that. The way he just got on with it was absolutely brilliant, and a deserved winner to start off our season.
Let's hand it to the world feed quickly. Not too long, because I know Omi didn't like it, and we'll get going.
As well, celebrating 10 years on the podium with Martinez Stenshorn, who can certainly go for the title. But a great drive out front. Ramos holding off the competition to win.
That's P1. Good job, man. Good job. Los mexicanos llegaron ya y llegaron bailando el ta-ta-ta.
Joy over the radio for Ramos, and well deserved. There was a phase in that race where he looked like he was really going to struggle to keep Stenshorn behind.
Vamos! 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 Sí!
Vamos Ramos. And yeah, there was a phase in that race where he looked like he was really in trouble. He pushed away from that group, and then they caught back up to him after that little error in the final sector of the lap. He looked like he'd used a lot of tyre as well. Stenshorn, for a couple of laps, looked like he had a better tyre underneath him. But yeah, on the 10-year anniversary of the high-tech team they've taken Oliver Oakes as a team principal through to the Alpine pit wall, still listed, interestingly, Oliver Oakes as the team principal down at high-tech, as they're in the middle of a management shuffle, really. But it's a great result for them. Penalties still coming in. Dufek and Guisti being investigated for the incident in turn 4. Guisti and Uchgulu being investigated for a safety car infringement.
There we see Martinez Stenshorn doing back-to-back podiums at the sprint race here in Australia. Oh, Sanapoint Puvazak's missed the corner.
Can't park there, sir.
Well, I think he was waving to someone in the crowd.
It's a quirky one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wide through the exit of turn 12 on his way back into the... unless he reckons a bit of gravel is going to add to the weight of the car. Taking pick up rubber and detritus a little bit too literally there, but the top three make their way in to delighted scenes.
That was your technique, was it?
I couldn't possibly divulge my secrets.
Well, we see the Van Amersfoort racing car, Santiago Ramos, coming down to celebrate with this team. He pulls into the #1 spot. It will be a first victory in FIA Formula 3 for Santiago Ramos, and a first for Mexico. A well done to Santiago Ramos. Mexico returning to the top step of the podium for the first time since Esteban Gutierrez at Monza in 2010. The driver to take him there is this man here, Santiago Ramos, with his team. Van Amersfoort Racing celebrating 50 years. They do so with a win in the very first race of the 2025 season. And he climbs out of the car, has moved over to the team for this season, and off to a winning start. Well done to Ramos. Came very close to the top step last season, taking pole position and podiums. And the man who almost denied him, Martinius Stensorner, 10 years high-tech celebrates this season, and they are off with a podium straight away with Martinez. Back-to-back sprint race podiums here. Well done Roman Belinsky as well. Debut in FIA Formula 3, and he started with a podium finish for Rodin Motorsport as well. Great performance from them. 3 drivers doing very well in the first race of the season in a very competitive race.
It's the way to do it in your rookie year. Goes and gets himself involved on merit of qualifying in the top 12 in the reverse grid. Pops it on 3rd on the reverse grid, and then handled it beautifully. Impressive stuff from Belinsky. One to watch through the rest of the year, no doubt. He's going to have a bit of a tougher job tomorrow from further back on the grid. But even still, with that Rodin underneath him, impressive stuff in his first ever Formula 3 race.
3 months out the car last season with that injury he picked up, and I know he's worked harder than he ever has to do before to get back to full fitness, but showing that he is right back there now. Martinius Stensorner showing why he is certainly amongst the 2 drivers he's walking to the podium with, a title contender. And we did expect this Formula 3 championship to be wide open, no clear favourites. I think that race proved that. There were many drivers within the battle. It did tail off slightly. We were left with 3 at the end, but there were a huge amount involved in it at the start.
It just shows that the development, though, of these young drivers. Stensorner, 18th in the championship last year.
Yeah.
You know, comes back with a year under his belt. Sometimes it takes that. Knows exactly what he wants to do. Has a feel for the nature of the racing, the nature of the cars. A brand new car is a curveball, but even still, the furniture of a Formula 3 weekend and how the sessions sit, how to work with the team, that's what he has.
Let's get the podium underway. First out onto the podium, his F3 debut, Roman Belinsky, puts Poland on the podium in FIA Formula 3.
Yep, onto the podium then, Omi, and what a great couple of days it's been. Everything's set up nicely. Hello.
Absolutely. As we see our contenders go onto that podium, Belinsky, what a journey it's been for him, especially after the injuries that he suffered with last year. A truly inspirational recovery for him.
A wonderful performance, and now the national anthem. They liked the long national anthem here today. And I think Santiago Ramos deserves it. An amazing race result from him and a victory on season debut here in Albert Park. Martinez Steinshaw will finish in second place. A great result for Steinshaw here today in Australia. He'll finish in second. And Omi, I think, going into tomorrow, anything can happen.
Yeah, it was quite chaotic. Should we throw a bit of rain in there as well? Maybe tomorrow as well? Good luck to us when that happens. It's going to be absolutely wild, we hope, as well. But in the dry they've delivered, in the opening they've delivered.
Moe is back, and for the first time in a long, long time, it's champagne time! Celebrations down under. Moe returns as the official champagne of Formula One, and it just feels that bit more expensive. What a day here in Australia for FIA Formula 3. Omi, please, the results.
Absolutely. Time. Never mind, because, well, Sky Sports definitely want to go on, because considering we're only 3 minutes away from when they want to usually go on.
Well, you take us through it then, if you've got the results open. Go on.
Absolutely. We'll do it all the way through with Santiago Ramos then ending up as our winner. Stenchon gets the bonus point for fastest lap and he finishes in second. Bielinski in third, and Privazak in fourth. Zagazeta, then Bedrin, Timothy Nile, Nicholas Solov, Callum Boysen, and then rounding out our top 10 is Noel Leon, Ugo Gachukwu in 11th, and then Boya in 12th, Chuka Tapinen in 13th, Hose in 14th, Gerard Z is in 15th position, Lacorte in 16th, Sharp in 17th, Badua in 18th, and then we have Marian Angeli in 19th position, Ivan Dominguez rounding out the top 20, and then it's Giusti in 21st, Dufek in 22nd, our retirement, Stromstead, Bruno Del Pino, Javier Segura, Tim Travanich finishing multiple laps down. Of course, he also had issues but went back on the circuit, and then it was Van Hoopen, Kamara and Wharton and Wers who all retired in the early stages. And just so you can wrap up, I'll give my final thoughts right now. Brilliant Formula 3 race, looking forward to tomorrow, and well, we could get some rain. It's going to be very interesting to see, but now it's FP3 and cannot wait for Formula 1 as well, and of course Formula 2 later as well.
Thank you, Omi. What a fantastic race we've had to kick off FIA Formula 3's new generation. We'll be back tomorrow with all the action for the feature race. Next up here on JB Motorsports, it's either NASCAR trucks or a third practice session at Albert Park. Take your pick. Dual streaming up next. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.